You were programmed from childhood, piggy banks, gold stars. Save your money. School never taught you how money works. They taught you how to obey it. Bank equals safety. Debt equals normal. Working forever equals responsible. That story is collapsing. Right now, here's a shock you were never supposed to hear. Since 2020, over 40% of all dollars in existence were printed. 40% in 4 years. Imagine your blood suddenly diluted by 40%. You would collapse. But money? It just silently decays. And they call it policy. Your savings didn't grow, they were sacrificed. People think money disappears dramatically. No, it dies quietly, like oxygen slowly leaving a room. You still breathe, just not enough. In 2000, $100 could buy groceries for a week. Today, barely 3 days. This isn't inflation, this is financial suffocation. They didn't steal your money, they stole what your money could have been. That's worse. Here's another brutal fact. In the last 50 years, every major currency lost over 85% of its value. Your grandparents saved, your parents saved, you saved, and every generation got poorer. But governments call this stability. No, this is controlled decay. You're punished for doing the right thing. Money moves top down. When new money is printed, it doesn't go to you. It goes to banks, corporations, politicians, hedge funds, asset owners. They buy houses, stocks, land, businesses. Before prices rise by the time you see the money, everything is already expensive. This is called the Cantillon Effect. Translation: the rich get richer first, you get inflation last. Rigged. Here's why you'll never catch up. In the last 30 years, wages went up 15%. Housing up 300%. Education up 400%. Healthcare up 500%. Do the math. You're not behind. You're being buried. Banks are not vaults. They are machines. You deposit money, they don't store it, they weaponize it. Banks keep as little as 10% of your deposits. That means you deposit $10,000. They lend out $9,000. That $9,000 becomes someone else's debt. Debt creates interest. Interest creates profit. Your money earns the money. You get crumbs. This is fractional reserve banking, legal fraud. If everyone withdrew their money today, banks would collapse. Because the money doesn't exist. It's a mirage. Banks borrow at 1 to 2%. They lend at 7 to 25%. That gap, the spread. That spread is your stolen future. Every year you lose purchasing power. They gain assets. The gap widens. They told you, just save. Savings accounts pay 1 to 3%. Real inflation? 5 to 12%. So every year you lose 2 to 9% of your wealth. Guaranteed. That's not saving. That's slow suicide. If your money is not growing faster than inflation, you are getting poorer. No feelings, no excuses. Math doesn't care. The wealthy never say, I saved my way to riches. They say, I owned assets. Assets inflate. Cash decays. One grows, one rots. Guess which one you were taught to hold. Let's talk about the biggest robbery in history. Between 2020 and 2024, over $30 trillion was injected into the system. 80% went to the top 10%. This is the greatest wealth transfer ever recorded. You paid for it without knowing. Your salary is a joke. Since 1980, productivity up 60%, wages up 15%. You built it, they took it. Housing used to cost 3 times your salary. Now, 10 times. You were locked out. Private investors own your future. You rent from billionaires. Governments need inflation. They are broke. They owe trillions. Inflation is a hidden tax. They don't raise taxes. They steal purchasing power. That's why inflation will never be fixed. They need it. They lied about retirement. Pensions are collapsing. Social Security is dying. You won't retire. You will just work slower. Financial advisors don't work for you. They work for banks. Your savings is their weapon. Here's a brutal truth. Millennials are 40% poorer than their parents at the same age. Gen Z? Even worse. First generation to be poorer than their parents. Progress? No. Collapse. 70% of people live paycheck to paycheck. 60% have less than $1,000 saved. 40% can't handle a $400 emergency. One accident, game over. That's not life. That's economic hostage. Global debt is $300 trillion. That debt will never be paid. So what happens? More printing, more inflation. You pay again. AI is coming. Automation is coming. Fewer jobs, lower wages, higher prices. Your labor is losing value. Assets still win. Your job doesn't care about you. You are replaceable, disposable, a number. Stop being loyal. Be smart. Rich parents teach their kids ownership, investing, negotiation. You were taught obey, save, wait. Different programming, different results. Stop calling yourself bad with money, unlucky, not smart. You were never taught. Ignorance is profitable for them. The barbell strategy: cash for survival, assets for growth, emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, ownership, index funds, businesses, real estate, cut the middle. Savings accounts are traps. Debt is a prison. Credit cards are modern slavery. You trade future time for present comfort. Time is the real currency. The system needs you broke. Because broke people obey. Fear? Don't question. Wealthy people choose. Walk away. Build. If you do nothing, you'll work longer. Retire later. Live smaller. Die tired. Not because you failed, because you trusted a broken system. The final currency is not money, it's time. Time to wake up, time to question, time to choose. Every dollar you protect buys freedom. Stop being fuel. Become the mechanic. Learn the game, play it, or the game will play you.